Hey everybody, I'm Justin Bohn.
And I'm Mike Val.
And this is the Bohn and Zano Zone, where we are always on the lanes, off the charts, and on the mic. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Bohn and Zano Zone podcast presented by BuddiesProShop.com. I'm Justin Bohn. Mike Val is in Vegas this week for the USBC National Convention, so I'm going to be doing this a little bit solo, but I've got two of my buddies in the wings waiting to talk about the ITC National Championship. If you're watching the girls' show right now, Chloe Skrasinski ended up winning. I'm sorry, but that's okay. But I don't think I should waste any time and bring these two on. Alex bowls for Indiana Tech. We all know that. And Brandon was a spectator this week who will be bowling for Mount Mercy, who got to kind of watch the whole week unfold. So I'm going to just bring them on, and we'll get this thing going. What's going on, boys?
What's up?
How you doing?
We're doing okay. Drilled some new balls today, so I'm excited for that.
You know, it's like I saw you like a few days ago, and you, Alex. But it's always pretty good to say, you know, how you doing, and you know, I miss you boys. And it's only been 2 days, so
yeah, literally, that's it.
But I'm excited for tonight. It should be a good show. So it's an absolute honor, and as me and Alex would say. So
agree 100%.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard my what I just said, my question, because I know I kind of cut out there with the internet. Was that your first nationals experience watching, Brandon?
In person, yes. On live stream, I have watched a few matches on live stream, but it's nothing like I ever expected. You know, watching Alex go the distance with Wisconsin Whitewater, that was a hell of a match. And you know, you guys at Wichita State was actually really cool to watch, even though you know you didn't throw that many balls, but it was the team atmosphere is something that I look forward to. And for anybody that's in the chat watching right now, if you haven't watched team bowling, you're missing out. And I want everyone in the chat to tune in to the team finals, because that was one hell of a show.
Yeah, I believe that show is Tuesday, May 10th at 6:30 Eastern. Is the men's show. We ended up getting there. Spoiler alert: if you don't want to hear what,
don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Don't give it away.
I agree. Don't give it away.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I'll talk about everything leading up
it's
to
a great
the
match.
Show. Yeah. I mean, the environment was something extremely different that I don't think I've experienced at a college event before. And I think Alex can kind of say the same. The energy level was through the roof. I think we've all bowled USBC national events between Junior Gold and Youth Open and stuff like that. And even USA Bowling, we've all been on the same team. But the energy level that was brought at ITCs was definitely on a whole nother level than I never thought.
Yeah, being able to be there with some of the best competitors in the country, it's kind of amazing. And you can tell right when we start in match play, everything starts kicking off and we start feeling the intensity. And it's best of 7 matches, so you know you have plenty of time to be able to, you know, get comfortable and start throwing the best shots you can. So I agree. I think it's amazing to be able to be a part of a team.
Yeah, I think team bowling brings out a lot of energy in general, right? I think we've all seen that, whether it be at the high school level and high school bowling, whether it be at USA bowling, like we kind of talked about, the Mid Atlantic tournament, the U.S. National Team Challenge tournament, all bunch of stuff. Team bowling has brought energy across the country, but I think nationals was a different kind of energy because you don't train with the guys that you bowl with for 8 months prior to the event. I mean, it's not what you work. This is what you work all year for, is to win the national title. And the amount of emotion that I saw from players and coaches, from not even the winning teams, like the losing teams as well, and how much it meant for them was pretty incredible.
Oh yeah, I can say personally that I mean we got emotional because it's the last tournament of the year. Freshman year is coming to an end. For some of those that are seniors, this is their last tournament. So it's amazing to be able to see that everything throughout the year comes to that tournament, and everyone's going to give it all they got. So of course people are going to be emotional, and I think that really captivates what bowling means to a lot of these people.
And you think about it, and Justin, you're a senior. Alex, you're a senior. Are a senior. You both are freshmen. I'm a senior. Coming up, and just watching it firsthand is something that I've never seen before. Like we just talked about, but it was something completely surreal, and no other college atmosphere is like ITC's. You don't walk into a college tournament or a collegiate shootout tournament and see them yelling at the top of their lungs because every shot at nationals it's ride or die. You got to make the best of it. You can't bowl scared. When you bowl scared, then you get tentative, and then you start not to make the greatest shots. But at the end of the week, the teams that bowl like they have been throughout the season, they're going to rise to the top. And you could definitely see the teams that were into it and were feeling it and wanted to be there and stepped up when they needed it, because when they stepped up and wanted it, they got it.
Yeah. And I think the 4 out of 7 format was what allowed some of the better teams to prevail. I think some of the best of 5, best of 3 matches, even like 2-game total wood matches that we see like a junior gold and stuff like that, like it definitely can be hard to have the better teams go longer in the event, right? But I think when you're bowling race to 4, 7, best of 7 games, I think that really allowed for some of the best teams to rise to the top and end up finishing in the top of the field.
And it's exciting. It comes down to the 9th and 10th in a few games, and if you don't step up in the 9th and 10th, you're not winning the game. So it's always exciting coming down to the final frames, and you gotta show up when you need it. And in a 4 out of 7, it doesn't matter who's the best bowler. You just got to get to 4 wins. Total pinfall doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter. You just got to get to 4 wins, and I think that's what we need more of. We don't see 4 out of 7 or 3 out of 5 anymore. It's all total wood. You look at junior gold, total wood. SYC, total wood. A lot of these tournaments are total wood, and I feel like that the 3 out of 5s, 4 out of 7s are coming slowly going downhill, and the total woods are creeping up. And you look at that, and all the total wood is the best bowler is going to win. And I feel like at ITCs, the 4 out of 7 gives it an equal playing field to any team that you step up for 4 games, you deserve to be there. So
yeah, it's the team that shows up in that match is the team that's going to win.
Correct.
Yeah, and I could say as a team, we definitely experienced that because we were down 3-0 in one specific set. And then the next thing you know, we win the next 3 games and we're right back in it. So if it's total wood, we're going to be down 200, 300 pins after those first 3 games. So
it makes it less interesting.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it more difficult for those, comebacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the format allows for the excitement to happen. I think if you're in a total pinfall format where, I mean, it could be over if you're bowling 2 games, it could be over in 13 or 14 frames realistically. But like when you're bowling a best of 7 match, every game matters and you're on a clean plate every game. You're starting from scratch every game. So I think that really allows for the excitement level to really come out. I think we would still see it if it was a total pinfall format, but I think the teams that rise to the occasion more often bring out the excitement level in that kind of in the best of 7 style match.
I mean, you look at the closest thing to ITCs, and it's actually on TV, not right now, but over the past few weeks and the upcoming weeks is the PBA playoffs. It's a race to 2 format. You gotta win 2 points to advance, and anything that you did in the prior season, it doesn't matter. You're bowling the guy that's on the lanes with you, and you got to get to 2 points and quicker than he does. So if you win the first game, that doesn't really matter. You just have a 1-0 lead. It doesn't matter if you win by 100 or 1. You just got to win. And that's probably the closest thing to ITCs on a real big-time base. And I think we need more of that in our sport. It's very exciting. And you look at it when it was the first year in Maine, they don't get much better than that in Maine. And to bring a format like that, it's pretty exciting. So,
yeah, I don't even know that the PBA league gets as exciting as ITCs was with the amount of energy and emotion.
No, I agree. I think that this is the pinnacle of showing emotion for a lot of people in the sport of bowling. Definitely.
I think it's the pinnacle for entertainment and energy in our sport.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is kind of what I would see. So I do kind of want to talk about something here real quick. Talk about the vlogs that we did this week and kind of like chasing the dream. For those of you that haven't watched the vlogs, me and Alex, we've dreamed of winning a national title, right? Anyone that wants to bowl in college always dreams of winning a national title. And even though we were on 2 different teams, we had the chance to bowl each other on the TV show because we ended up qualifying on 2 different sides of the bracket. And chasing the dream would have been winning a national title. But at the same time, we had the opportunity to bowl each other for the national title on 2 different teams. And that dream had a pretty damn good run.
Certainly did. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We qualified 3rd after 24 Baker games. You guys qualified 4th, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We bowled 2 matches on Thursday night. We both won our 2 matches. We bowled Oklahoma Christian and Lindenwood on Thursday night. Who'd you guys have on Thursday night?
We had our first match. We had William Patterson, and then we had McKendree.
Okay, yeah. And then we both won first 2 matches. Then Friday morning we came out. We bowled Emmanuel. We beat them. And then who'd you guys bowl the first match on Friday?
For the first time. Wisconsin.
Okay. Yeah. And by the way, that was really nice to get to sleep in. If you won 2 matches on Thursday, you got to sleep in. You didn't have to be at the bowling center until 1 o'clock to start. That was really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but it seemed like all the events that we bowled in college, when the men and the women were in the same center, the men always started first.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Always started first. I mean, It was never like the girls would start like 4 in the afternoon and we would start at 8 a.m. every time.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and even for us, the girls team also won the first 2 matches on Thursday night. So the whole team had to sleep in. It was great. It was incredible. So you guys bowled Whitewater in the first match on Friday. We bowled Emmanuel, and then we had to win one of the next 2 matches in match play round 6 with the buys and everything, the way that it worked out. We ended up bowling William Penn. We beat them. We were up. We lost the first game, won the next 3, and then the anchor bowler needed a mark in the 10th to win the match and went light and like kind of crumbled the bucket and left the 5-7. Not the easiest thing to shoot at.
No, definitely
made
not.
the spare
For the win.
Made the spare to win the game and avoid elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about clutch moment right there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I mean, that was cool. That was cool to watch as like a fan of bowling. Like I gave him a high five.
Oh, yeah.
I was like good spare.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
And me and the boys talk about it all the time. You need a mark to win. What is the worst hypothetical makeable spare that you have to shoot at for the win? I have my opinion. Brandon, you get yours and take a moment to think about it.
All right. I think I got it.
Off the top of my head, the 4-8.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's the hardest, I think, multi-pin spare or like
two-pin spare, one-pin spare, multi-pin spare.
Consider it a makeable spare. I mean, you look at it, you're like, oh, that's makeable.
Right.
I mean, like 3, 6, 9, 10 makeable.
I was gonna go 2.8.
Or that.
Yeah. 2.7.
Okay, baby.
So like you're 3.10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd rather shoot a 3.9 than shoot a 2.7.
I could see a 2.8.
Yeah. Especially in college bowling.
Oh yeah, because I feel like whatever spares like you're shooting at when you need it, like I don't know, I've gotten really good at just shooting spares straight, like in general, like no matter what it is. Like I shoot the bucket straight, I shoot the 3, 6, 9, 10 straight, no matter what I'm bowling on. So like,
so you're one of those guys that shoots a 2.8 straight.
I don't shoot a 2.8 straight. I don't leave the 2.8 very often, but I hook at it when I do leave it. But yeah, because I mean, if you're bowling on 1-to-1 at the U.S. Open, you leave a 2.8, you got to make it to win. That's a hard spare.
Oh yeah, that's tough for sure.
All right, I give it to you, but I wouldn't want to shoot a 2.7 either.
No, I agree. Baby split's also very difficult.
Yeah, I don't know that I would consider. I think we like to consider it a makeable. I don't know that I would consider it a makeable.
It's
That's my
on the border.
Yeah, I think mentally we like to be like, oh yeah, this is a makeable. This is an easy spare, and then just like, yeah, it's actually a split. Like it's not that easy.
Yeah.
I can understand that though.
Sydney just put in the chat as she's watching from upstairs. That's like a first, Justin. So you have 3 bones on the podcast, 2 of them on the podcast, and 1 watching. So that's pretty good showing right there. But anyway, she says you can't tell me you would rather shoot a washout instead of double wood.
In college bowling, I mean,
I think I would rather shoot a washout.
Yeah, I would almost say
I would rather shoot a washout.
Ooh,
because a washout you can hook at it or go straight at it, and like if you just flat out miss it, then you just miss it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for us, like when we practice spares at a place called the Alley, and it has the GSX machines where you can shoot at like any spare combo over and over. Like we practice washouts. So like for us, like we like to consider it a makeable. Like it's one of those spares we like the baby split. And like we practice it a bunch, like you got confidence shooting it. You don't practice shooting a 2.8 straight.
No.
I know one person that does that, and that's about it. And I don't know, washout or a 2.8 to win the US Open.
Oh, okay, that's
US Open. I'm going washout.
Washout. Yeah, I'm going washout.
Interesting.
Yeah, you got to hook at.
Would you rather shoot a bucket or a 2.8 straight?
Bucket.
Oh, a bucket has way more chance to go if you shoot it straight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Because like you can hit it almost anywhere and still have a chance. As long as you hit one, you have a chance of anywhere. But you shoot a 2.8, you got to almost dead perfectly hit it. So
yeah,
that's a tough one. But it depends
on the topic.
It also depends on the pattern. If you're born on the US Open, I don't know if I'd really want to shoot a 2.8. No. But if you're born on something that's got a little shape to it, I'm definitely shooting a 3.9 over a washout any day. Yeah,
for sure. So anyway, back to college bowling and nationals. We beat William Penn in the match to get to TV, and it didn't go to the if necessary round. That was a pretty neat moment to experience with the energy level, making the show, because I mean we had the rest of the night off. We didn't have to worry about the if necessary match. Like it was like one and done, which was really great for us. And I'll kind of let Alex explain his round 6 and round 7, because you guys bowled Whitewater again. After you guys beat them in a round before.
Correct. So we had Whitewater had to beat us twice, of course, to get to the show. So our first round we bowled Whitewater. I mean, we kind of just, I would say the inexperience kind of got to us a little bit, kind of got to our head, saying like, you kind of let off the gas a little bit. Okay, they got to beat us twice, and you don't jump off to the great start. So I'll kind of.
And at that point, did you guys have It was the four freshmen in the lineup, right? And Marcus.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So I would say, and then that match we lost 4-2. There's not much to it, and we were like, all right, let's kind of reset going on to the next match, and this was of course the if necessary, and
winner makes the show, loser goes home.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and we start off losing the first 3. And I would say that's got to be the worst feeling that you can be at in a situation where, you're trying to make the TV show and, you got to win. So, and then.
And what did you guys shoot the first 3?
I would say we had a total, I think it was like 460, 450 for the first 3.
Yeah, it wasn't looking very good. And that's like the worst feeling. You just need to win 4 games. And you're down 0-3 and that's a rough start.
You got some wiggle room to play with when you're bowling a best of 7 match and you lose all 3 games to start the match and you have no ball reaction at all shooting 450.
Yeah. Yeah, 450 is we were not in a good situation there. So
then
I mean, watching it, what was it like? What were you guys seeing watching that?
I'll
tell you what. You want to go first?
Yeah, I wasn't watching the beginning of the match. I kind of came down towards the end of it. When it was either 3-1, I think it was 3-1 when I came down. Brandon, were you down there the whole time?
I was down there the whole time.
Okay,
so I watched almost every shot, and I think what happened was you guys started with too much surface, and you started too far left, and that can make a huge difference. I feel like when you guys can open up the lane as a team, I know I've gotten to watch Michael bowl a lot recently, and as growing up on the East Coast, I've seen you bowl. I know your strengths, I know your weaknesses. James, I think I know him pretty well, and Marcus, he's a really solid player, and he speaks for himself. Speaks for a reason. He's the youngest Open Championship winner, Eagle winner, I believe. And then there's Parker, and I would say the first 3 games, guys were a little too far left, in my opinion, and you guys had a little too much surface, and you missed it right, wanted to hook, didn't want to hook, you missed it left and went through the face, and look up at the scoreboard after 9 frames, you got 110 or 120, staring 130 right in the face. That's not too hot when the other team's got 220 ball reaction. So
yeah, especially when they're bowling good and you guys feel like you're bowling on the reverse block, the hard at best, the dead impossible, when you can't split a hair. You have to split a hair, and if you don't split the hair, you're splitting.
Oh yeah, it's mentally deflating. I mean, it's just look at their ball reaction, it's just where's it coming from,
So then let me ask, what changed for you guys going into like game 4? Now you're down 0-3. You can't lose another game, and you have to win the next 4 games, and you guys have 0 ball reaction.
Yeah, so I would say Mike starting us off is a great leadoff bowler. He always kind of gets us energized. And I feel like we kind of got a spark. We finally started seeing the lanes. They started coming to us, which helped a little bit. And like you said, I agree. I think we were a little too far left to start. But, of course, it breaks down transition. And that finally transitioned to us. And the transition hit us that game 4. And I feel like that's what happened. It came to us for the rest of the couple games. And that's why we were able to win it. But, I mean, we were bowling with nothing to lose at that point. We were down 0-3. Right. The pressure really wasn't on us, So
right, yeah, and when you're down 0-3 and a 4 out of 7, it's almost like you have everything to gain. And at that point, you're bowling on house money, like I told you guys. And the last 4 games, the way I saw you guys step up was unbelievable. You guys looked like 5 new bowlers the last 4 games, and it was really cool to watch. And if any of you missed it, I would strongly recommend going on Bowl TV and checking it out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was great, and it came down to the final shot, the last shot. Marcus threw a great pitch, and I feel like in that situation, you wouldn't ask any more of whoever was bowling anchor. So,
and the fact that you guys were down 0-3, and it came down to the 10th frame of Game 7, you guys showed who you are, and I'd be pretty happy for you guys, and I am really happy for you guys. Pretty excited to know that you guys never give up, and there are 4 guys that I would put myself on a team with any day of the week, and to see that you guys didn't pack it in after 3 games, being down 0-3, having 0 ball reaction in the world, I thought it was really, really cool to watch that you guys brought it back to Game 7 in the 10th and needed pretty much 2 hits away from making TV when you're down 0-3.
And I don't know that I would want it any other way.
No.
I mean, those are the moments you live for when you're in the very last moment. You're in round 7 in a best of 7 match in Game 7, and it comes down in the 9th and 10th frame. You don't want it any other way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You want to be able to step up in the 10th frame and win the match.
Correct.
Because that's where the ultimate outcry of emotion comes, I think. And I mean, the fact of the position that you guys were in, and then the position you guys put yourself in, being down 0-3, and then being able to get back and put it to basically the 10th frame was pretty cool. It was pretty neat to see.
And Marcus stepping up in the 10th, that's you as a bowler. Those are the moments you live for. You live for going up in the 10th, needing a strike to make TV with 8 or 10 guys behind you, a whole bunch of fans, cheering you on. Those are the moments you live for. And I don't even want to know how Marcus felt after another shot in the 10th didn't strike, but you got to look at it. And I look at it. Everything happens for a reason, and maybe that hit just pushes you guys to be even better next year. So the fact that you guys didn't pack it in, like I just said, and never gave up, that shows who you guys are. And I think you guys put a pinpoint on the map to who Indiana Tech bowling is. So.
Yeah, and it was like we were all discussing, at a meeting afterwards. We're like, if you told us at the beginning of the year that our roster and our team was going to be this, and we were going to be 2 hits away from potentially bowling on TV for ITCs, I would think that would be a great year. So looking back at it, you can't hang your head on it at all. It was a great experience to go through.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think with even as young as your guys' team is, I mean, you guys had 4 out of 5 starters were freshmen, basically, right? And at least 3 of them were, if one of them wasn't in. And for you 4 to experience that, like Brandon said, everything does happen for a reason, and moments like these do make you stronger for when you get there again. And yeah, that's how you got to walk away from it. I think anybody that walks away from an event that they lose, and in the moment, yeah, it sucks, but in the future, you will be stronger because you're going to know how to handle a moment that big. So we have a question in the chat. What are your guys' collegiate bowling averages? So we're going to answer this. And if you guys have any other questions, be sure and put them in the chat. We'll get them answered as we're going to probably wrap this one up here pretty shortly. Collegiate bowling averages, I think I averaged somewhere between 205 and 210 for my season, probably 35 or 40-ish games.
Guys, I just want to put it out there that I haven't missed in my collegiate season so far. I am perfect. I haven't missed a spare. I haven't missed a strike. I'm perfect, and my average stands at an A, not available. So
just wait. Just give it a year.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Did you just say A for unavailable?
NA, not available.
Okay, got it.
So I haven't missed anything. I haven't missed. So,
well, I've missed a lot. I think I was just a little bit shy of 210, and I would say for a freshman year, that was a great year for me personally. I didn't have any issues with my average. So,
yeah. So we got another question. Other than ITC, what was your favorite tournament of the year? Alex, I'll let you go first, and Brandon, you can answer this one too, just not for college bowling.
I'm gonna have to go. Oh, sorry, did I cut you off there?
No. You're good. I know. I got to think about mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I got two options. I would say sectionals, which was qualifying leading up to the national tournament ITCs, because it's 32 games in a day of Baker games. The lanes get torched. You get to throw the ball in the air.
Oh, that was incredible. That was great.
Oh yeah. So I would say that's probably one of the most fun tournaments that I had, and I would say the Hoosier. Even though we didn't make match play, I would say that tournament was very hard, very fun. All the teams were there, so I would say those are my top two tournaments that I bowled this year.
Yeah, I think sectionals was really neat for me. I mean, we started at some point in the course of the second set of 16 Baker games. I got as far left as 67 with my feet, and when I was up on the left lane of the pair. And I was standing on 6 on the right lane of the pair to the left of us, and just dead in the air. Oh, it was great. It was super cool. I mean, that's always fun. You don't want to do it every time because the proprietors will get mad, but it was fun to do it for one event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's special. Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna say two options here. I'm gonna say either. I'm gonna say 3, and I'm gonna give reasons to why. I'm gonna say single.
The guy asked, other than ITC, what was your favorite tournament of the year? Not multiple favorite tournaments of the year.
Hey, well, when you get in the situation,
I read off the question.
When you get in the situation, you bowl a lot of tournaments. I mean, you're gonna see that you enjoy some stuff, Brandon. So just we'll come back to you next year and ask you the same question, see how you feel.
All right.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, so single sectionals was really cool because I got to cross with Charles Bostic. That was really fun because we were able to communicate on the pair we were going to versus the pair we were after. I mean, we both had one goal, and it was to make the singles qualifier or the singles nationals. We were able to work together to give ourselves a chance. I unfortunately bowled 140 the first game, and that hurt my chances. I had to strike a lot, and there was not a lot of strikes out there. I also really liked Vegas. The two events that we bowled in Vegas was really neat because all the teams stayed at the same hotel. Very similar to ITCs, except every single team stayed at South Point, or every single team stayed at the same hotel for ITCs, and that was a blast in itself. I think whenever we are able to get together off the lanes and out of the bowling area, that's when the most fun is had at these events. That was probably up there for me with Vegas, and then making my only all tournament team this year at a Swibic in Dallas was really fun, being able to strike that much. I started with urethane, moved into reactive, had a little bit of it all going on. Had a chance to win the tournament and just lost it in the last game. And that was really fun to be able to bowl that well in that kind of setting. So
very cool, very cool. So my favorite tournament of the year, and I don't know if this applies to me, but I'll answer it anyway. My favorite tournament of the year would have to be Junior Gold. And Junior Gold is like ITCs, pretty much just on a lower scale level. And unbelievable. But anyway, Junior Gold, hands down, my favorite tournament of the year. That's where the talent rises to the top. So I love the format. I think it's a great format. You know how you bowl 4 different patterns and they cut. You bowl 5 more games and they cut. And then match play is, it's like a whole new tournament when you get to the top 16. So
Junior Gold is your favorite?
Oh, of course.
Safe pick. Could have guessed it.
Yeah, safe pick. All right, so next question. What physical tools would you say you guys need to work on after your first year experience? I really like this question a lot. I think it's a solid question. I would say physical tools, I think, I know this is not the question that was being asked, but I think being strong mentally is a very big key part of bowling in general. And I would hope that you two can agree with me. I know Bernie doesn't have much of a brain as it is, but I think having a strong mental game is really what allows for some of the best players to be super successful. I mean, you can have a great physical game, but if you don't have a good mental game, you aren't going to win anything.
Well, I'll answer this guy's question about physical game. I would say personally for me, it doesn't happen very often, but of course you always need to learn how to play the lane straighter. Straighter is greater. And college bowling is hooking it a lot, but there is also a time in college bowling where you need to play straight. So I would say for me personally, and for me as our whole team, we just need to learn on being able to play the lane straighter, close off those angles to be able to score better on fresh.
Yeah, and to answer the question, I, after thinking about it and actually wanting to give an answer, I would say like my speed, my ball speed. I think throwing it slower for me is something that I really want to work on. In college bowling, we have to get pretty far left and create a lot of shape on the lane. And when you have to get far left and nobody's broken them down in there, and you got to get your ball to hook somehow, you got to throw it slower. And then I think that is probably the one thing that I would say for me is going to be what's going to lead to even more success next year. And even in years past or in years to come, would definitely be slower ball speed for me. Just slower footwork in general will just lead to more control, more balance, all that good stuff. Brandon, what's the one thing you got to work on over the summer to prepare for college bowling now that you've kind of seen it for a year and kind of, heard from me, all that good stuff?
Throwing reactive. I would definitely say I get a little too urethane happy, and I tend to throw urethane on probably some more things than I should. And college bowling is all about being flat, and I need to know when to throw reactive when they're that hard, and when urethane doesn't work. So I think that once I get better with reactive and slowing my speed down, I should turn into a little bit better of a player. So I'm ready.
Yeah.
All the challenges and tasks that it gives me, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that about throwing reactive, because I actually had a conversation with Spencer for a decent amount of time today about how a majority of the lefties were throwing urethane this week, whether it was the pitch black, the purple hammer. He was throwing a little bit of a booyah, double cross. It was really fun. And he was like, yeah, there were like hardly any lefties throwing reactive. So I don't know. I thought that was really funny how you bring up throwing reactive for college bowling.
And you look at it, and all of the lefties that score recently have all been throwing urethane. And it's hard to think about wanting to be a PBA professional one day, and knowing that you're going to go into a tournament with 6 or 8 of the same bowling balls and hoping that they work. Where on the right, you guys can start out with urethane and then transition into a bigger ball, which makes it a little tougher. But knowing you have all those tools in your bag and having them break down on the right, much different than the left. As Dad had told me, it's easier to get to the pay window on the right. It's harder to win on the left. When you have it on the left, you need to take full advantage, because you're not going to have it every week. And
Right.
on the right, there's going to be a righty that hits them pretty hard every week. So I don't know which is better, which one you want more, but the more tools you have in your bag, you're definitely going to succeed over other players. So
yeah, and I kind of want to talk about like the right and starting with urethane and how quickly we get out of it. And I know, Alex, you were on a different team, so you can kind of talk about your experiences a little bit differently. But throughout the course of the season, we found ourselves getting out of urethane very quickly because of how quickly they transitioned with 10 guys on a pair, to the point where I actually stopped bringing urethane with me. That wasn't my one-handed spare ball, and felt that having a little bit of a wider arsenal, because we're only allowed 5 balls in most college tournaments. Having a wider arsenal of reactive balls was actually more useful. And at Junior Gold this year, I only had 2 reactive balls. I had a Hero Solid, a solid symmetric ball, a Tempo, which is a shiny symmetric ball, and then a one-handed urethane, a 2-handed urethane, and a plastic ball, because I did not like using urethane in my spares. And now I'm talking about not using any urethane like in my arsenal because it gives me more options. I don't know. I thought that was funny.
Well, I'd like to say college bowling and youth bowling are two completely separate things. So college bowling, I agree. We don't throw urethane nearly as much as some people may think, or as much as, on tour, because like you said, they burn up and you have so many people bowling. So, and most of the time, I don't know about you guys, but we burn up the lane. So it kind of creates a hook spot. Urethane already naturally hooks early. So it's just kind of all out of play to begin with. So, but when you go to youth bowling, you don't have that. So, I would say for me personally, I think I'm going to keep urethane in my bag coming to junior gold and going back to youth tournaments. But I would agree. I saw minimal urethane usage during college tournaments.
Yeah, I think it's something that's really good to start with, like on the fresh, and I'll let you get to your point in a minute, Brandon. But like at events like junior gold where they break down differently. I think in college, a lot of people start in the same area and we find ourselves using it like on the fresh, but like we don't really use it after that. We don't really use it on the fresh because of how they break down. We're at junior gold where kids are playing a little bit more all over the place. You're able to stay in it longer. And yeah, like when I go bowl junior gold this summer, I'm going to bowl U20. And I'm definitely going to have a purple hammer in my bag. I think it's been a big key to success in youth bowling, not just for me, and not just with the purple hammer or whatever urethane ball I have, but for anybody. Me and Spencer talked about it today, how we all kind of got used to throwing urethane, and even on the right side, it was a big staple in our bag. And now for someone like me, 8 months later, it's not even a thought when I go to a college tournament.
Yeah, that Justin, if you were on the left, it might be a little bit different.
Yeah,
but I think
you got would be.
It would be. But you got to look at college bowling and youth bowling. They're two completely different breeds. College bowling, you bowl on a lot of flatter stuff. Youth tournaments, they're a little bit more shape to them. You think about SYCs, for prime example. They're 3, 4, sometimes 5 to 1. And you bowl a college tournament, they're less than 2 to 1. They're almost brutal. So you have to make your own area, and sometimes on the shorter stuff you can make area using urethane, starting with urethane and then moving left and bouncing it off of where the urethane is carried down. But it's pretty tricky when you get to college bowling, and I haven't even been there yet. Just watching from a spectator, watching what some teams do to break down the lanes, and I would say I'm definitely ready for the challenge. So,
yeah, I think that was a big part of our success on the fresh this week was how we were able to break them down. We would sacrifice a bunch of our practice shots to break down each lane in a way that would help us benefit in our score. And I think that ultimately helped us have a much better ball reaction on the fresh than a bunch of the other teams did.
Yeah, I would say watching you guys at the beginning of qualifying, we saw how you guys broke them down, and we didn't break them down in qualifying, and we struggled during the beginning. And you guys had a good
I remember I walked back to Michael's dad, and I was like, and we bowled like 8-4, and we bowled 897 on the fresh, so 100 over for 4, and you guys bowled 697.
Yeah.
I go, we beat them by 50 a game.
Yep.
That's 5 pins a frame. That's not close.
No, not at all.
No, that was funny. No, but I think it's almost time to wrap this one up. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to chat about real quick? The floor is yours. Make your statements, ask questions. Go right ahead.
All right. Well, I see a question that's been going down in the chat. Can you explain the softness thing in bowling? I don't get it.
So basically, bowling balls have to be a certain hardness to be legal in USBC competition or within a certain hardness measurement. And a couple of the bowling balls have been measured too soft or under the required hardness. So for that reason, they've been no longer USBC approved. The urethane balls specifically lose hardness over time much quicker. So the 2016 and 2017 Purple Hammers are much softer than they were in 2022 than they were in 2016 and 2017. So over time, they were legal and then have slowly became illegal. So with that being said, that's why they've done that. And the PBA rule within 2 years really just allows it to stay that way. Really allows it to keep the ones that are legal in play and keep the ones that are illegal out of play. Hopefully that answers your question, and hopefully that brings you some more awareness of the hardness in bowling and in bowling balls.
I think it's I'm not sure how I feel on this whole 2-year softness and whole orientation here, but I'm not here to lean towards one way or the other. I have opinions on both sides. I think it's tough to watch and listen to people talk about it, and I just think it's a very sensitive topic right now, especially what's going on in the world right now. It's something that we don't need in the bowling world, and I think if it's a bowling ball and you put 3 holes in it, it doesn't matter if it's under the softness, over the softness. You still gotta put it in a place to where you're gonna knock over all 10 pins, and it happens. And over time, you can't change what happens over time. Like it's pretty hard to change what happens to a bowling ball that's made 6 years ago. It's gonna react different, and its lanes are not like what they used to be 6 years ago. So, a 2016 Purple Hammer probably gonna hook a little less. Back then, now it's gotten softer, and it's probably gonna hook a little bit more. So, my opinions are equal. I have opinions on both sides, like I said. And Alex, what are your thoughts on this whole ban softness? And it's happening to more than one company right now. So it's not like it's only for us for 16 and 17 purples. It's for storm balls, and I'm sure if they tested some other balls, they would come under the softness too. So
yeah, I agree. It's a touchy subject because you have to look at it from both sides, and I feel like USBC, PBA are going to try and do the best they can to kind of squash this whole issue because it's tough. I mean, and I think that you should be able to throw, equipment regardless. However, there are situations where, you're not going to be able to – you'll be able to get an advantage throwing balls that are maybe a little softer. So,
yeah,
it's tough.
And
it's definitely tough.
We have a special guest joining us.
Yeah, what a special guy that's joining us as we're talking about the hardness and softness of bowling balls. As he just got done with one of his sessions at the USBC convention in Las Vegas. Hello, Michael.
Hi, buddy.
I'm great. How was your session?
This one was a little bit on the boring side, I'm not going to lie, but it's been a very eventful day here. And I've talked to a lot of people. And what you guys were just talking about was the topic of conversation across the board here. But really the thing is hardness. And it's interesting. There's no resolution for it. There isn't. And nobody can figure out like a fair way to make this thing right or whatnot. And everybody's questioning the timing still on the 6 balls. It's just not any good. And, everybody we've talked to so far is saying that we're in a real fragile state, which we are. And it sucks. It's awful. It's completely awful. And not a lot of happy people here. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it would be a much more interesting place to be at USBC convention this year with everything that's happened in the sport of bowling.
Oh, especially right now. It's like it's like a World War IV going on right now, and in the bowling world, you look at it, and all heads are clashing right now. And like Mike just said about the timing, there's not going to be any worse or any better timing. I mean, it's not the greatest time. especially at the Masters. What happened at the Masters, I think I wasn't a huge fan of that. And I'll say it, we're not storm staffers, but I thought that was pretty messed up what happened to storm staffers at the Masters. So
no, you're right. And I'll tell you this, the one person who I was looking to meet here, I think you guys know who that is. I haven't had the chance to see him yet, but he is floating around. And I got here last night, so I didn't come to anything yesterday. But he's been very, very social, shaking hands, meeting people and whatnot. I haven't seen him yet. Probably will tonight. But I did have, Justin, I had lunch with, ready for this, Murderers Row over table.
Go ahead.
Alex Aguiar, Timmy Mack,
Okay.
Barry Asher, and Larry Lickstein.
Wow, that's a table.
Yeah, we had
it right there.
Yeah, and each one of them was very vocal on what they thought is going on in the game and in the bowling world, and it's awful. They
Really?
Yeah, it's bad, and they all think that the powers that be, it's not the right one. But they also seem to think that this is the wrong play, and especially what happened with Belmont. I don't know if you guys talked about that, about how he got fined for speaking his mind.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. I think that's a conversation that we're gonna have next week when you're back on and we're at one of our more regularly episodes.
Yeah, but tonight from Las Vegas, I'm going to the USBC Hall of Fame induction tonight, and this is what's going to be weird. So tonight, Bob Learn, Pat Healy, and PA are getting inducted tonight. Okay. Tomorrow, how weird is this going to be? I'm going to ask the three of you this question. Barbara and Bill Crispin get inducted to the USBC Hall of Fame tomorrow by Chad Murphy. How awkward is that?
Wow.
How awkward is that going to be? I picked the wrong induction ceremony to go to. I should have went to the one for tomorrow.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's very interesting, and that's the weird thing. Like, everybody's saying that they're just going to boo the presenter and just give a standing ovation for the inductees, obviously.
Right.
And then this morning, there was a breakfast for the BVL, the Veterans Association.
Yeah.
The Chrismans presented BVL with a check for $20,000 to go for the vets, right in front, you know who. And
interesting.
Exactly. So they're not backing down from this, and they're still doing the right thing. So it's a pretty interesting time to be here, guys.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you get back to your festivities.
Yep.
Thank you for your input. It's always appreciated. But
thank you, Brandon. I hope you and Horton did a good job of replacing me for the week.
Nothing's ever going to be like Mike Val, but I think.
And Justin, really quick, I can't tell you how many people have come up to me in the past day here and complimented us on our Brian Voss show last week.
Yeah, I had a bunch of people talk to me about it at ITCs, more than I was expecting from a group of college kids.
Yeah, everybody was really impressed that, number one, we got him out of hiding to come out and talk to us.
Yeah.
But the actual knowledge of what he said and whatnot, we're internet celebrities, dude. We made it big time here.
Perfect. Sweet.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys back in Jersey.
All right, sounds good. Later, Mike.
Bye, guys.
All right, and that's all we'll see of Mike Val for this week. But guys, thanks for joining me. It's been an absolute blast talking about college bowling and the ITC National Championship and all that had included during last week's competition in Addison, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. But that's just gonna wrap this one up, guys. Be sure and tune in May 10th and watch the Wichita State Shocker Bowling team compete for a national title, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. You're gonna have to tune in and find out. Best 3 out of 5. Winner wins a national title. And Alex, great showing, finishing 3rd place with you guys in the Tech Warriors. And Brandon, you'll get to experience it all next year at Mount Mercy.
Next year, I'm ready for it. So I want to say thanks, Justin, for having me and Alex on the show. It was a good time, good good long hour. But before we end this real quick, I want to give a little shout out to what I'm wearing tonight. Bonesley Training and Rev Rates is something new at Howell Lanes. If you haven't heard of it, I want you to go check out revrates.vip. And it is on the map, and machines arrived today, and it's going to be something cool. And if you're not there to see it, you're missing out. So us three, I cannot wait till Justin arrives back home in a few short weeks, and Alex comes home for the summer, and we're gonna have some videos there, and
we're gonna have quite the training sessions.
We're gonna make
new
a lot of really cool videos. We already have some ideas, and we can't wait for you guys to see them live and on YouTube. So go head over to Justin's YouTube, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It helps him out. So it helps us make more videos, and what Justin's doing right now is pretty unique, and thank you. So thanks for having us.
It's probably the nicest thing you said to me all day.
Yeah, we don't really talk a whole lot, so especially during the day. But yeah, that probably was the nicest thing I've said to you today.
Yeah, you're busy doing high school things, competing in the great Nerf game of Senior Assassin.
I am, but that was last night's priorities. This is tonight's priorities. So you got to get them straight. So.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta have them in order. Got to take care of business first, and then you got to take care of the show after. So, but that's gonna wrap this one up. Alex, you got anything you want to say before we head out?
Great time. I enjoy always talking with you guys. I can't wait to be on for the summer, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in. Be sure to go hit that subscribe button, like the Facebook page, follow the Facebook page, check out the Instagram page, all at Bohn and Zano Zone, so you never miss an update. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in.